Hello everyone, my name is Eric Paetkau and with me today is Etsuko Kimura.
Hello.
Etsuko is our violin soloist and also our concert master for Group of 27's concert on January 30th entitled Journey. And the whole theme of the concert is how composers transform certain pieces from when they begin it to the whole finished product. And so Etsuko, I want to ask you, when you're preparing a solo piece, what is the journey that you go on?
Okay, so journey is for me first of all, of course, I have to get the music. So I go to the music store and I get the music, and I have to learn the note.
Yes.
So learning the note is actually takes more time than to become the final product. So after learning the note, you start to think about, okay, so what kind of color you want this phrase. Maybe I want something like a gentle color, or maybe this is stronger and stuff like that. Then and also at the same time, like you kind of like study about the piece, like background the piece, and then so that you can kind of match with the composer's feeling that when he or she composed, then the final product comes out.
And talking about the background of the piece and the composer, in this Dvorak romance, we know that it was first a slow movement of a string quartet,
Yes.
an F minor that was actually never premiered during his lifetime. It was premiered about 50 years later, in about 1929 or so. And so when Dvorak, he transformed his whole life. He was actually a violist, a principal violist in an orchestra for many years. Yay, violist. Before he turned his hand to composing. In your life, what sort of situations and how has your musicianship or your music making changed over the years regarding different situations and just how life turns out?
Okay. It's dramatic change is, having a kid, of course. And, when I was younger, every time I have a solo concert or something like that, I always prepared like nice quiet morning and take a bath in the morning and then soak myself into warm water and then with some aroma or something like that, and then think about the piece and then just calm down. But with the kids, never happened.
Right.
So that was a dramatic change because when I had my daughter, like I started work when she was 2 months old. So I was like always carrying my daughter and my bag and the violin and the stroller. And as soon as you get there, you have to switch your mind to playing. And then, but sometimes all of a sudden you start to think about, I forgot to do that or something like that.
Right.
That was a really hard change for me.
Did
it's
you
a big
find?
Journey, though.
Did you find that? You've had 2 kids now, and they're already teenagers and almost close to young adults now. Has that experience taught you to really focus in certain ways that you didn't before, or is there?
I think so.
Okay.
It's like because you have to find the time, like chunk of time. Sometimes it could be like 50 minutes here or 50 minutes there, but you have to grab that time to concentrate, to practice. Otherwise, you never know what's going to happen next.
Right.
So.
And has also the experience of having kids and just also life experiences, has that changed your musicianship as well? How you approach music in terms of expression or in terms of how you feel it?
I think so, because I think all these composers composed, regarding or what's happening around his life or her life, because now, of course, you have, cell phones and internet and everything. It's easy to express, but back then, I think the only way to express him or herself is writing a letter, or sometimes it could be writing a poem. It depends on the person, but their product is like really, really about themselves. So once you experience your life in a different way, like you start to understand the feeling that they had. I mean, back at their time, or sometimes could be losing someone, or sometimes it could be having kids as well. And then you start to understand, this is the feeling maybe composer was feeling, and then that changed the the approach to the music
Sure.
a lot.
Sure, and of course, as we mature and as we experience life more and more, we get more life experience,
Yeah.
and that always transforms our way of doing things, not just music making, but of
Yeah.
course life. One final question: have you ever eaten a turkey or chicken sandwich in front of live birds, for instance, at a picnic or a zoo?
No.
No, you've never. Have you ever, when you're eating the
Yeah.
turkey or chicken, thought, is it a bit awkward because I'm eating in front of a pigeon or maybe even on a farm?
Sandwich?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No?
I don't. But my husband had an experience that he was eating some buns, Chinese buns or something like that, and all of a sudden, squirrel came and took his buns.
Oh, so the squirrel might have been thinking that he was eating a squirrel bun, and that might have been awkward.
Maybe.
Okay. Good. January 30th.
Yes.
Friday night. Dvorak Romance for violin. It's beautiful. It's a really gorgeous, expression-full piece, and Etsuko will be performing it at Trinity St. Paul's at 8 o'clock. Thank you, Etsuko.
Come.
Bye.
Bye.